What's up, guys? We're back.
We're back.
Sauno Man R1. We've got UK conspiracies for you guys. Let's go.
That bears fruit. And you cut the tree down for the wood, you can do that once. That's what the government are doing with the economy. They're ruining it by increasing taxes here, there and everywhere. Instead of thinking, how can we drive innovation? How can we drive growth? But they will never understand because they're not entrepreneurs. They don't run a real economy. A real economy has to have a profit and loss. It will have a balance sheet which has more asset than liability. The government has more liability than asset. It is trading insolvently and they've made it legal for them to do that, illegal for us to do that. It's all wrong. It's all
100% it's wrong. Outlaw Robert, that's what the Tories. Can you do that? That's why the crime rate is going up. 50%. That's our Prime Minister. It's crazy. Corruption party, 100%. Hey, did you see what they just said? 177 billionaires and with a combined net worth of nearly 700 billion. You man have got 700 billion, only 177 people.
Where they going with that money? They ain't got anywhere. Just sitting in the house, in the back.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but they ain't giving it to us. I tell you that. They're saying work harder for less to us though. They're saying, oh yeah, and they're cutting the teachers. I don't know what is that. Are they trying to like destroy it? I don't know.
They're trying to keep the poor poorer, you know.
That's crazy. That's 100%. Let's keep going, guys.
Christine Mackenzie lived in this house in Wolverhampton not long ago. While she was here, pregnant with her second child and without a husband, she filled in this questionnaire. She was asked, in the past 2 weeks, have you gone a whole day without a meal? She answered yes, and added, the baby had some porridge. She was asked to list the typical day's meals. She wrote, breakfast, nothing. Midday, toast, jam, or an egg. Supper, nothing. Have you any general comments, she was asked. I don't feel very well, she wrote. Christine Mackenzie is one of the people you will hear about in the next half hour. They are people who represent the true crisis in this country. Tonight, more than 2 million parents will go to bed hungry in order to give their children something to eat.
That's in 1975.
And already, many of these children are suffering a degree of
people are still like that today.
and diseases like rickets related to malnutrition. But please don't get me wrong. This is not a documentary about the perennial poor. In all the numbing, mostly middle-class debate about falling living standards in Britain, one truth has been excluded. It is this. For the first time since the Great Depression, Britain, the so-called welfare state, is deliberately cutting back the means of survival of its poorest and their children. We didn't show Christine in this film because she is dead and buried in an unmarked grave in a Wolverhampton cemetery. She was 21 years old. Weak and undernourished, she died from a rare infection just a few weeks after the birth of her second child. The truth, of course, is that Christine Mackenzie, with a total weekly income last year of £11 and 10 pence, could barely afford to go on living in the welfare state of Britain. Her miserably low social benefits could not keep pace with the uncontrolled rise of food prices. In the questionnaire I mentioned, she was asked, "Have you had any help from the social services in the past year?" She answered no, and the Director of Social Services for Wolverhampton has since confirmed that she was speaking the truth. "We had no record of this young woman," he said, "until the night the police told us she had died." This government's minute increases in social benefits planned for November will be wiped out by inflation and are effectively cutbacks, and pose a direct threat to the survival of the growing number of the poor. Unless we regain our sense of priorities, which amount to our civilization, there will be more and more Christine Mackenzies.
Perhaps some Christine Mackenzies in 2023.
Energy blocks that you might. We love Nigel Farage. You can find his show on GB News on flashnews.com.au. In the meantime, he joins us here each and every week. Great man, you just heard the conversation. You just heard the invocation of our former Deputy Prime Minister. Look at what's happening in the UK. Is this serious? 3-hour energy blocks that you may well have nothing during summer.
Yeah, that's right. So it's not just me and a handful of people whistling in the wind, as it were. No, it's now official. The government are warning us. We face 3-hour-a-day total blackouts. No energy, no computers, no lights. And this could be happening as soon as February. It all depends, believe it or not, on the weather. If we get a big high-pressure anticyclone over the country, that is what will happen. The Energy Minister, Jacob Rees-Mogg, has said that hospitals will be prioritised. Well, that's nice of him, isn't it? And this is what happens if you go for net zero. So, Australia, you are witnessing what your future looks like if you stay on this lunatic course. I can't even tell you, Paul, how angry I am when it comes to this. It's as if we're going back 150 years. We're going back to before the Industrial Revolution. It is utter madness. And it isn't just the Tories I blame. It's the entirety of our political class who, through political correctness, have gone along with the sayings of a 17-year-old girl, a slightly disturbed girl from Sweden. Yes, we must all down to Greta Thunberg and turn the lights off.
The problem is that when the Tories get flushed as a result of this crisis, they're replaced by Labor, who's more aggressive than the current government is on all of these things. So, I mean, I feel a comeback's coming, mate, because there has to be another alternative.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Tories have let us down on immigration, let us down on energy, let us down on the economy, on pretty much everything. They need a period in opposition and to come back as a proper conservative party. And perhaps there's a parallel in Australia too. Perhaps the Liberal Party in Australia ought to reconsider what Scott Morrison did at COP26 by signing you up to a net zero agenda. And when I was down in Oz a couple of weeks ago, I heard some Liberal Party senior figures saying, "Oh, well, it's done now. Let's put that behind us and move on." No, I think the way for the Liberal Party to reposition itself and win the next election in Australia is to make clear to Australians they will have power at good prices, unlike Britain and Europe.
As we say here, Kenneth.
Final hours, I hear.
Isn't that mad? 3 hours, gonna be dark. Can you imagine? Just imagine that. In this room with candles on. And everyone just chatting shit to each other and talking and stuff like that. You can't use the finger, you can't cook. You know, the fridge is, the ice is melting, you know. Imagine that. Then you look, you go out, see, I'm going to the shop. Don't waste your time, the shop is dark.
Close. They're doing that to scare people, I think.
Oh,
just to
man.
control
You think
people.
so?
Yeah, it has to be.
I hope
3 hours, you're telling me that in Europe, man, you're telling me there's no lights, it's energy.
You know, people have forgotten about candles. I think I'm going to start buying candles, you know, just to stack them. I'm telling you, bro. Be like one of them, you know, there's people that prepare for doomsday. The preppers, they call them doomsday preppers. I think I'm going to start doomsday prepping. If you don't prep, don't come to my house for candles. I'm telling you right now. Start prepping, man. I'm telling you. Let's go.
If here illegally, you will not be able to claim asylum here. You will not be able to access the modern slavery system.
What?
You will not be able to make spurious human rights claims. That is the right thing to do.
I knew he was evil, you know. I knew he was dodgy anyway.
Study maths up until the age of 18. That's ridiculous.
Study maths till 18. Why?
In society, and you don't need maths to be successful. Everyone's got a bloody iPhone. If you've got a Samsung or Google phone, I think you need to listen to Richie and do some maths. Richie says he wants people to feel much more comfortable when it comes down to finances. Bro, teaching me algebra and pi is not going to help me with my finances. When was the last time someone went to get a mortgage and the bank said, whoa, slow down there, tell me your algebra?
Yeah, what's
Richie
4
says
stands
in a
for?
world where data is everywhere and statistics underpins every job, letting our children out into the world without those skills is letting them down. He wants people to feel confident with finances and things like mortgages. So Richie, let me talk to you. Because whoever's whispering in your ear so you can introduce these silly policies, they want your job. If you want people to understand finance better and understand things like mortgages, teach them. Teach them about finance specifically. Teach them about mortgages specifically. Teach them about investing specifically. If you really care about people doing better financially, teach them financial literacy. If you are saying you care about people doing better financially and understanding finance, then put systems in place to actually teach these kids about finance. Teach them how to invest. Teach them how to save. Teach them good debt and bad debt. Teach them how to prepare to buy a property. Not about bloody algebra. Algebra? Come on, bro. The truth is, I don't think you care about financial literacy.
No.
This screams old school African Asian mentality that you must know your times tables up until 20. Trust me, Rishi, no successful person has ever not been successful because they didn't know what 4 times 4 was.
The future is not
I agree with you.
The future is built by us.
The future is built
By
by
a
us.
powerful community. Us.
Powerful community.
You here in this home. We should have the means to improve society.
The future will not be you, an old man.
Entire civilization.
You know what I mean?
The Tartarians were said to be a civilization that unlocked the key to free energy, allowing the Tartarians to advance exponentially, as citizens were allowed to express their creativity freely, without the stress of work, leading to many great inventions and grand architecture. However, a powerful organization that controlled the world with the cell of energy had already invested heavily into energy production and lobbied against Tartaria, as free energy will essentially take away all the control that they had. This organization tore Tartaria apart and erased them from our history books, making it seem like Tartaria never existed. But if you look carefully, the evidence of Tartaria is still there, in old maps, in architecture around the world that seem to advance, places like the Taj Mahal, the Great Wall of China, or even the pyramids in Egypt looked way too advanced to have been built by the respective nations, but collectively, all have similar themes in their design, similar themes aimed at harvesting energy. So,
I don't know why everybody says, oh, you know, it's too advanced for them to build. How do you know how advanced they were? This is the thing about the people now. They think they're the most advanced, you know, we are the most fabulous. Just because they can't understand how they done it. You don't understand that. You don't have the technology to do it. You don't have the brain power to do what they used to do. I think there are people way more advanced than us back then than we are today. What advancements do we have today? Computers, blah, 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 blah. Bro, there's still people dying of sickness. There's still, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't...
But someone have to profit from it.
Of course, this is what... Bro, there's things that they're going to bring out in 50 years' time they don't want to bring out today that would have benefited us today. So if they really cared about us today, they would have brought it out right now.
Yeah, but
back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, but if they bought out today, a lot of people are going to get rid of a lot of stuff. A lot of people bought, in the shop, there's a lot of stock. They need to sell that.
No, I'm not talking about in that sense. I'm talking about energy-wise. Say, for instance, like you see on the old picture, they had the same scooters we have that just came out. How? But we are the most advanced.
Yeah, but don't forget in Tokyo they're advanced as well. They got a lot of stuff, gadgets and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's all rubbish compared to. That's all rubbish, silly stuff. All them gadgets and stuff, bro, don't do nothing for us. All it does is waste our time. Instead of being on the gadget and doing stuff, we could have used that time to study and learn how to do stuff and build and how can we, you know what I mean? But we're watching TikToks and stupid. Come on, it's useless, man. They're hiding stuff. We want to see it.
Are protesting after its city council proposed to
15-minute
city over the next 20 years. What's that? Remember that episode in SpongeBob when Squidward moves to Squidville where he has everything he needs within a short distance? Pretty convenient, right? A 15-minute city is like that. An urban planning concept where residents can access to their daily necessities like groceries, work, healthcare, entertainment within a 15-minute walk, bike, or public transport. The goal here is to improve accessibility and reduce congestion and carbon emission, while also encouraging people to walk.
You don't
But
care.
why are people so riled up about this?
Emission
Some
this.
conservative commenters call this an open-air prison, and
Yes.
they'll be barred in and surveilled at all times. Taking them
course.
back to pandemic lockdown when the government monitored and restricted people from traveling outside of their district. No, that's not part of the plan at all. You can still get in a car and drive off somewhere outside the city. There are just limits to where cars go within the city. This isn't like some crazy thing. In this map, about 80% of neighborhoods in the Netherlands are 15-minute cities. The Dutch's urban planning is a great example of how cities don't have to feel dense and confined if they're designed to be people-friendly. If anything, the backlash definitely shows that car culture is deeply ingrained in our society, and some people are just not happy about it maybe changing.
We don't want 15-minute cities. I want 5-hour cities. I want to go wherever I want, whenever I want. I don't want to be in jail. No, thank you.
No, but the main issue with that one is just to control people. They
Of
don't want
course,
to go
of
too
course.
far.
Oh, you can't go here. You can't do this. Oh, yeah, the bread here is run out. But it will be coming. Just wait 2 days. You can't go 15 minutes over to another city.
Well, they plan to do that. Once you go somewhere out,
No, you can't go. They're gonna tell you
Where
you're gonna
going?
see where you're going.
Go back.
You know, they're gonna charge you because they saw you in the motorway. No, I'll be honest with you. See stuff like that. It's gonna take a long time for it to kick in because you see protests. No one will have that. Too many new riders.
They're gonna protest about that in Oxford.
Of course.
In Mumbai.
Yeah. That's good. I think that's the end of the video, guys.
Yes.
Till next time. They see that they just always plots and plans for us, bro. Then we have to fight back. You know, the fight continues. You know what I mean? But let's all work hard, guys. Let's get our money up. Look after our families. Wish you all the best. Please like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell. And we'll see you on the next video.
Let's
See you
go.
later.